They promised each other forever, but what happens when forever takes a different path? Pretty Woman 2 isn't just about picking up where things left off. It's about what life does to love and how time changes everything, people, dreams, and even fairy tales. Vivian Ward is not the same woman we met in 1990. She's smarter, stronger, and completely in control of her own story. In Pretty Woman 2, the trailer reveals that Vivian now runs a successful fashion company. She's built her own brand, possibly from the inspiration of the very makeover that once changed her life. The same woman who once felt out of place in a Beverly Hills boutique now owns one. She isn't just buying dresses, she's designing them, but success has its cost. In one scene, Vivian is shown alone in her luxury apartment, staring out at the city skyline. The look on her face isn't satisfaction, it's something closer to loneliness. There are awards on the shelf, magazines with her on the cover, but there's an emptiness behind it all. A voiceover from her character plays, "I climbed so high I forgot what I was reaching for." Edward, on the other hand, is no longer the stone-faced billionaire. Time has softened him. The trailer shows him retired, or possibly semi-retired, no longer chasing business deals, but chasing something harder to catch: meaning. He's seen spending quiet moments reading, reflecting, walking through parks. There's a scene where he's looking at a wedding invitation, holding it in his hands like it weighs 100 pounds. The trailer doesn't say whose wedding it is, but it clearly affects him. The chemistry between them is still there, but now it's layered with everything that's happened in between: regret, distance, growth. There's a scene where Vivian and Edward talk at a rooftop party, standing apart from the crowd. She tells him, "We built something once, but we didn't stay to see what it could become." He replies, "Maybe now we can." It's not a promise. It's a question. The sequel doesn't act like nothing happened over the last 30 years. It leans into it. There are hints that they may have tried and failed to stay together. Maybe they broke up quietly. Maybe life pulled them in different directions. But now, as older versions of themselves, they're not trying to relive the past. They're trying to figure out if there's still a future worth holding on to. Another powerful scene in the trailer shows Vivian giving a speech at a women's business gala. She shares part of her journey from being underestimated to becoming a leader. Her words are clear. "The world didn't believe in women like me, so I built a world that did." The crowd applauds, but the camera cuts to Edward in the back of the room, silently watching her with pride and maybe a little heartbreak, the tone of the trailer suggests. This won't be a fairy tale in the classic sense. There's no white horse, no prince saving the day. Instead, it's about two people who saved themselves and are now wondering if there's still room for each other in the lives they rebuilt alone. Pretty Woman 2 doesn't pretend that love is easy. It shows love as something that has to be chosen again and again, even after mistakes, even after years apart. And that's what makes it real. This isn't just a sequel, it's a reflection of what happens after the credits roll. Asterisk. It's not just Julia Roberts and Richard Gere lighting up the screen again. The trailer for Pretty Woman 2 is packed with subtle nods, beloved faces, and a few new surprises. If you blink, you'll miss the clues that reveal this sequel is deeper, richer, and more connected to the original than anyone expected. Asterisk, the first surprise? The brief but powerful return of Barney Thompson, the elegant and respectful hotel manager from the original movie. He appears for just a second in the trailer, standing beside Vivian at an awards event. His hair is grayer, his back a little more bent, but the gentle respect in his eyes remains the same. It's a touching callback, not just to a character, but to a time when someone believed in Vivian. Before the world did. Another fan-favorite moment comes in the form of a subtle visual cue: the piano. In one scene, we see Vivian walking past a grand piano inside a luxury suite. She stops, smiles, and for a split second touches one of the keys. For fans of the original, that's a direct nod to one of the most iconic and steamy moments between her and Edward. The trailer doesn't say anything. It doesn't have to. The memory is already alive in our minds. Then there's a new face, a young woman in her 20s, shown interacting with both Vivian and Edward at different times in the trailer. She's never introduced directly, but the way Vivian looks at her, the gentle guidance, the protectiveness, it raises big questions. Is she their daughter? A goddaughter? A young woman Vivian is mentoring? The trailer keeps this a mystery, but one thing's clear, she's important to both of them. And she may be the reason they cross paths again. A few quick scenes show other familiar settings. The Beverly Wilshire Hotel lobby, where the story began, and the high-end boutique that once refused to serve Vivian. Only this time, the boutique has a new name, possibly Vivian's own fashion line. It's poetic justice, served stylishly. Another Easter egg that fans are buzzing about is the soundtrack. One song plays softly in the background, a slow, orchestral version of Roy Orbison's "Oh, Pretty Woman." It's not loud or flashy. It's slowed down, filled with strings, and carries a mix of sadness and sweetness. It reminds us that this story isn't just about love, it's about time, memory, and holding on to what matters. A surprise cameo spotted near the end of the trailer features actor Hector Elizondo, who played Barney in the original film, delivering a one-line voiceover. Some stories never truly end. The screen fades to black after this, and fans have already begun speculating. Is this line a farewell, a welcome back, or something in between? The trailer also throws in some fun, like a red convertible cruising down Rodeo Drive, echoing the wild, joyful ride Vivian once took. This time, though, she's behind the wheel. A clear message, the power has shifted, and this is her story now. Then there's the dress. A modern remake of that legendary red gown from the opera scene makes a brief appearance, this time in a fashion show moment where Vivian walks alongside models wearing her designs. The crowd cheers, but her eyes are fixed on one man at the back, Edward, watching silently, almost nervously, as if he knows what this moment means to her. The trailer is rich with symbolism, the umbrella in the rain, the white glove being slipped off, a wedding band being taken off quietly. These aren't just pretty shots. They tell us the story will deal with hard emotions, complicated choices, and unfinished business. One last detail only sharp-eyed viewers will catch. The closing seconds of the trailer show a business card sliding across a table. On it is written a single name, Vivian Ward, founder, Ward & Co. It's a powerful, silent way of showing just how far she's come. This isn't just a sequel made for nostalgia. It's a film carefully woven with meaning, growth, and respect for the original. The supporting cast, both old and new, aren't just there for decoration. They're part of a much bigger, emotional picture. And every Easter egg is a small gift for fans who never stopped believing in the magic of this love story. Asterisk. It only took minutes. The trailer for Pretty Woman 2 hit the internet, and the world exploded. Hashtags trended. TikTok edits went viral. Memes, tears, think pieces, all because two familiar faces walked back into our lives, carrying decades of love, loss, and hope. But beyond the emotions, this trailer has sparked something much bigger, a conversation about where Hollywood is heading, and why we're so hungry for stories like this. Asterisk, within hours of release, the Pretty Woman 2 trailer topped YouTube's trending list. On Twitter, or rather X, the hashtags #PrettyWomanReturns and #Vivian and Edward flooded timelines. Fans old and young shared clips, quotes, and side-by-side comparisons of 1990 versus now. Some were stunned to see Julia Roberts back in her most iconic role. Others were moved by Richard Gere's quiet, emotional presence. But the loudest reaction? This is the sequel we never knew we needed. On Reddit, a thread titled, "I Didn't Cry, You Cried," hit the top of our movies. Fans dissected every frame, theorized about the plot, and praised the choice to show growth, not perfection. One user wrote, "They didn't just bring them back, they gave them depth." This isn't just a sequel, it's a second chance. TikTok exploded with edits. Vivian's red dress, Edward's bookstore scene, the piano callback, all set to slowed-down versions of "Oh, Pretty Woman" and emotional piano covers. Teenagers who weren't even born when the original came out are now discovering it for the first time. Drawn in by the trailer's mature, emotionally rich tone, Hollywood has taken notice. After Top Gun, Maverick, and the massive success of Just like that, studios are realizing something powerful. Nostalgia isn't just about comfort. It's about continuation. Fans don't want reboots. They want stories that respect time, that treat aging not as a problem but as a plotline. Pretty Woman 2 proves that mature storytelling still sells. And more importantly, it shows there's a huge audience craving love stories that don't end at the wedding, but instead begin again when life has already been lived. This is especially important in an industry obsessed with youth. Seeing Julia Roberts not trying to act 25, but instead embracing a bold, confident, grown Vivian, that's a powerful message. The trailer doesn't hide her age, it celebrates it. And audiences are applauding. It's also a rare sequel that isn't built around action, fantasy, or superheroes. It's built around emotion, around dialogue, around characters we know and care about. The risk of making this film was high. Romantic sequels almost never work. But the trailer shows Pretty Woman 2 isn't trying to repeat the past. It's building on it, quietly, carefully, with love. Film critics are already calling it the surprise of the year. Variety noted how the trailer balances nostalgia with emotional realism. IndieWire praised the lack of digital de-aging or forced glamour and called it a story with wrinkles, both literal and emotional. What does this mean for Hollywood? It means sequels don't have to be reboots. It means aging stars don't need to be sidelined. They can lead. It means stories that began 30 years ago can still matter today, because love, real love, doesn't expire with time. It matures, and maybe that's why Pretty Woman 2 is hitting so hard. Because in a world full of noise, explosions, and fast cuts, this trailer dares to be quiet. Sincere and human. It's not just about where Vivian and Edward ended up. It's about where we, the audience, have ended up, older, wiser, and still hoping for a kind of love that's worth returning to, even after all these years.